Hello, hello. Hey, Debbie. How are you? Welcome, everybody. Happy Sunday. Apologies for the slightly different time slot tonight, but I was noticing that Kendra's Card Challenge has a hop, so I thought we could basically redirect to Shanna's stream, which will happen at 6:30 Central Time. So that's kind of the plan. So I wanted to sort of do a little happy mail, work through our birthday and Christmas cards. We have still a whole bunch of them. Um, and then I wanted to if you remake this card from the Craft Roulette Showcase on Saturday, I wound up covering the dude up with the sentiment, unfortunately. So we missed his whole shirt. So I kind of want to redo him. And since I was exploring sort of ways you could do different things with tags, I found these Tim Holtz tags and thought it'd be really neat if we basically like cut a second tag into it so that we can put our coloring here, but basically do a similar card. Although I think I'll do it in craft because the tags are craft. And I don't know, it's interesting with it being actual winter outside. I'm kind of a little, I don't know. I'm not as super into winter this week as I was when it was 44 versus I think it's about 17 now. It was like 8 degrees this morning and then warmed up. Hey, Danny, I hope you are faring okay with the snow. I think Miss Debbie is going to miss the snow, hopefully. I also wanted to say I got a mystery gift from Amazon from somebody with the initials CB. So if you gave me this, thank you very much. It actually is going to come in super handy because I have this Helix pencil sharpener I love. But as you can see, it's pretty chunky. So it was kind of a pain to bring to crops last year. So a small one like this is going to be great to fit into my kind of art tackle box thingy that I use if I'm traveling on the go. And Mystery Person also blessed me with a bunch of really cute animal buttons. So the next time we have buttons as a parameter, we have a plethora of them. And as you can see there, well, I'll grab one out of here. But these are super duper, not super duper, but they're very thin. So I don't think they're going to add weight. But there's all sorts of animals. We have some birds. These look like butterflies, dragonflies, kitties, of course. So if you gave these to me, drop me a note. I'd be more than happy to send you a thank you note. But I know a few people with the initial CB, so I didn't know who you were specifically. So I just wanted to double check that. What else can I tell you? I think. Oh, I picked up a new. I'm trying out a new metallic ink. This is a Catherine Pooler, and I had a swatch somewhere, but it seems to have left the building, so it will likely show up later on in our broadcast because that's how things work. Or we can redo it. But this feels very similar to the Delicata ink to me. It is a short version. So like it shows up on white and has a really good metallic color shirt. Oh, is that from you? Awesome. Fabulous. I did. This is perfect. So this is going to make my life easy because I love colored pencil coloring, but I always hate it when like I have to use one of the how can I put this nicely? The pencil sharpeners they give you with colored pencil sets that you buy off of Amazon. The Stadler is a fabulous brand. The Helix one is great too. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I think they're both at least European or German, perhaps. But yeah, no, they're super cool. And there's also another thing of buttons, so that you could use for buttons, or I can grab it. It's right here. So these you could use for buttons, or you could actually use these as like clay pieces. And these are kitties. It looks like. Yes, in all the rainbow colors. So fabulous. I'm so happy. It just made my day because I wasn't expecting it. And, it's like right after the New Year's. So let's look at some happy mail. And I'm kind of enamored with this double box card right now. So we're going to kind of make this card, but we're going to have to mess with the measurements because the tag I want to use is more narrow. Also, somebody on in the craft roulette community had recommended had liked the idea of potentially rather than doing this as a portrait, to try and do this as a landscape. So we may do that at some point because I really, if I grab one of my my other 15 versions of this card I've made, like if you put this piece on top, you do have a pretty nice area for a focal image. So I think if you flip this whole thing, you'd get more of like a 3x4, which would actually be kind of nice, especially if you are like me and have way too many cut aparts. It is, yes. Amazon is unique. Walmart does the same thing. I don't get it. It's like, what did I get from Walmart? So I got a new, to dip slightly into the unglamorous world of being an adult for a second. Like, so I got a furnace. I have furnace filters on auto delivery, but like sometimes they'll just put it in like a bubble mailer, which would be the same thing to do. But sometimes they put it in like a massive box. So on the upside, Walmart is keeping me in like splat boxes for spraying. So there's that. And anyway, they're very cool. Let's take a look at some of our Happy Mail. I'm actually really excited for the new Kendra's Card Challenge. I haven't been as excited for them in a while, not because I thought the sketches were as fabulous as always, but some of the cutting guides have been a little like I might need a protractor. Oh my goodness, how beautiful. Look at this, so much bling and foil. See, like, okay. Oh, and somebody had suggested the Lisa Horton metallic ink, so I ordered some of them too to try out. But what I want is metallic ink that looks like this when you stamp it. I don't think that exists. The other thing that's interesting about this ink is it actually has a disclaimer on their website because obviously their dye inks like dry instantly and do all the things, but the metallic inks, because they're a pigment ink, essentially are like a binder and, itty bitty tiny little metallic things. So the itty bitty tiny metallic bits can sometimes become disconnected unless you use like a spray fixative or something. It's the same issues you'd have using any kind of mica, anything. But anyway, beautiful card from our friend Jean, wishing you the best birthday. And look at this lovely deckled panel. That's cool. I love deckled stuff because it's just sort of like a subtle detail, and I always forget to do it, even though like I have all the die sets to do. I actually really liked when I did a Valentine's Day ish card with the deckled circles. That looked cool. So, oh, this is adorable. Okay, I just love having a from our friend Vanessa from Illinois. I need to save these envelopes actually because there's some people who sent me birthday or Christmas cards. They don't think I have their address, so I'll need to add it to my address list and send them something. I mostly caught up with Christmas cards. Hello, happy place. I guess I should say hello and welcome to anyone who is new today. Whoops. StreamYard hates me. Here we go. But it's good to see you. Because there were a bunch of new people on the community showcase on Saturday. So if you are finding my channel and you are new, hello, hi, welcome. I'm glad that you are here. And feel free to drop by any Sunday and craft or listen or do whatnot. Really cool. Love this. This is a really neat, great die set where you've got several layers of paper here. So it basically builds up your polar bear, but you don't need a bunch of different colors. And a very cute note from our craft roulette friend. Love this one. Oh, I didn't notice this. The background paper here actually has a texture. It's I don't know if it's a paper or if it was embossed, but it has sort of a very light wood grain. Anyway. Oh, and a card from a coworker. This is a coworker who has actually not worked for my company for a while. I think last I knew he was over at a company in Verona, Wisconsin that makes things you may have heard of. including my chart. But hello, Gaz. How are you? I hope you are well. I am doing pretty well. I hope you go. I don't know. I should drop Kendra an email. I hope you get onto one of her live stream hops because that would be kind of cool. I think you and Delise would, now that you're on the KCC team, be really interesting. Well, gotta have more cowbell, baby. Very cool. I like it. He always finds really unique Christmas cards, which is kind of fun. Now, this group doesn't exist anymore, but this is from a friend from Danny's Dreams from Idaho. I do not know if it is a swap, but Danny still has a this or that group. So if you are interested, oh, this is really interesting. Oh, wow. Look at all these beautiful die cuts. I never think to use vellum, but this is really cool. It looks like this is vellum that's embossed. I need to do embossing because I have all the stuff. And I said that last year and then didn't do it. But this is really cool. Looks like a nice background paper. I think this is either splattered or stenciled on. Very nice. And did this thing where you pop the whole thing up on foam, which is kind of a neat look. Yes, one of your friends, Danny. Except I'm looking at the wrong envelope. Oh, here we go. Because I put this to the side because I should send it a thank you. Anywho. Or I put it somewhere. Oh, I put it here. Oh my goodness. But yeah, yeah, feel free to drop the link to Danny's new group if you know it. If not, that's fine. Yeah. From let's see what we happy holidays. Julie Tillman. Very cool. Very neat. I like this. I don't know. I feel like I was talking to a friend and I was saying this year, as I say many years, I should work on penmanship this year. Oh, this is cool. How cool is this? So the truck, this looks like it's like a watercolor wash, but the truck itself is clear embossed, which is a really neat look. Oh, and it's from Mary Gunn and Steven. Very cool. What a fabulous card. And I mean, I like cards like this because, you know, they're pretty simple to put together. And as you can see, this is also drawn, which is a technique I don't use. It's sort of, oh, yes. Thank you, Debbie. I always tell people to forget to do that. So if you enjoy this content, feel free to smash the like button, hit the subscribe. Basically, in 2025, we're continuing most of the things that I liked from 2024. So we're going to keep this stream going every Sunday. Tuesdays are generally going to be the like process video day. If that week I'm releasing a process video that's more short and to the point and less rambling. And then I kind of want to bring the free class idea back because I enjoy designing them, even though like I'm not actively selling that much of anything, but I thought we could just do one anyway. And might use some Crafty Stamco stuff because I am on their design team. Check. Oh, this is cool. Look at this paper. And this, I think, is... It might be Franken paper, but I think this... I like this ruler paper a lot. That's really cool. And... Paper Hugs. Very cool. This is... Oh, this is from Smurf. I think this die is from Cat Scrappiness, who were having a wild sale for a while because they are moving. I don't know. It seems like so many craft companies are moving this time of year. I suppose it makes sense. It's going to sort of enter with the holidays over. It's kind of entering into a slower season. This is a card from my friend Pam. We'll see what we have. Oh, we have a fabulous cover plate. We do. Look at that. Fantastic. Love it. I love vintage ornaments. They're one of my favorite things. So, nice message from Pam. Beautiful card. I'm always gonna love a vintage ornament, but I like something like this because like these also would be not too much of a pain to mass produce, much like the Christmas card I mostly sent out this year. Although, as you guys have probably heard in the past from me, we'll have to just see if we can't get this lovely washi tape off. Since I do a sale at the beginning of December, often I wait until that's over to figure out like what, if any, Christmas cards I need. And for better or worse, this was a very good year for selling paper crafts. So I wound up needing more. So most of the cards went on around Epiphany, kind of. So anyway, if you don't have my Christmas card yet, it is coming. Unless you're in Canada, and then I'm waiting until the post office starts accepting mail from Canada. Oh, this is cute. Very lovely. Love that die cut. This is from my friend Allie, who also runs a card swap. Very cool. Thank you very much. This is a really fun way to use ephemera too. Like, as you can see, it's just popped up a little bit. So you can use foam tape or dimensionals and get a different look. This is my family's Christmas card, so I thought I would share it. It is a Snapfish one, which we've done for most of the years. Santa isn't always in them, but they are definitely fun. And then this one is from my friend Ryan, who also does cool stuff. I probably owe him a Christmas card, although I think he is on our. Oh, that's cute. Ooh, and these are blingy, I think. Yeah, the trees themselves are stenciled on in something, which is really neat. And then there's that thing Pam doesn't like. Oh, actually, I lied. So there's that G thing on here, glitter for those who are not familiar. So it's like glitter over the top, but the trees themselves are printed. And there's a wedding photo in it, which is awesome. It is so cool. Although now that I have that, I kind of want to like figure out some way to do something a little bit fun or interesting. Anyway, so I have my measurements up. I will walk you through this, but we're going to mess with a bunch of the measurements. So I will have a process video on how to actually make this. So if we grab one of our example cards, basically the measurement from here to this score line is about where we want to cut off our tag so that we'll fit. And I probably want to just mark that. And then I'll probably just mark that with a pencil because I think I have one. Maybe. Here we go. I'm just going to mark this with a pencil so that we know basically where that is. And then I'm just going to chop it on paper trimmer. You could also work out the measurements on this, but I don't know. It's Sunday night, and let's just, I think that should pop my tick mark. It did. And this is, looks like about 3/4 of an inch. See how that works. Yeah, so that'll basically give us this whole front panel. Now, this is 3 by 5 for the little piece. So let me grab a piece of craft and let's try and get sort of our base together so we can figure out what dimensions we want on our like die cut piece. Now we could just offset this. What I was thinking is we would just, yeah, I think that'll work. So I think I'm just going to cut it to wherever this octagon kind of comes in so that we basically get another tag out of it. So I will do that. And I will also grab a piece of craft so that we can make the rest of the base. Thank you. I don't know. I always love, I don't know if you guys are like this too, but I always love seeing the cards in person because sometimes they're exactly what I think they are, but sometimes things are always different. But it's always fun to have so much variety. And I mean, I don't know. I wish that we sent cards more than Christmas. I think that should be a 2025 goal. Just like make up holidays and for me anyway, make up holidays and send cards because I have a lot of cards that are like not holiday cards, but could be almost any other time of year. This is a fairly thin craft. This is the Hobby Lobby one. I really like sort of the modeliness of it, but I don't love the fact that it's thin. But since it's craft, we're basically putting multiple layers on all of our pieces today. So I don't know. It'll be fine. Just FYI. But I do like the Hobby Lobby better than Michael's, but primarily, and this is a piece I'm just chopping off. Oh look, we have a tag. But primarily because it has like a lot better texture, which isn't really reading on camera. Oh, here you can kind of see it. In real life, it has more of a modeled texture, which I like. So it'll actually work because we can just inset this like this, and I think it'll look pretty perfect. And our color match here is actually pretty good, which I didn't check beforehand, so score. And let me grab my trimmer, and we can start cutting things up. So the base is 10.5 by 4.25. So I'm just going to cut a 1/2 inch off of this because it's easier in my brain that way. And then we're just going to cut the remaining piece in half. There we go. Well, that wasn't what I intended. Anyway, it'll be fine. Let me cut this weird hanging little bit off. Don't know how I managed to do that. Well, I do. It's usually, this is magnetic, so sometimes if anything is, like any kind of paper scrap like this gets stuck in the trimmer, it can be an issue. So we have that piece. And then normally I want this piece to be 5 inches, but I normally would cut this to 3. I'm going to cut it to 2 because pretty much I want it hidden behind the tag. So we have this one cut to 2 by 5. See the difference here. And then when we grab our tag, this will just get hidden. The tag gets this piece will be probably completely covered by the tag. And then I can remember what my scores are. Well, I mean, I have so many, like I love making anytime cards, so I have so many cards that are great for whatever, but then I don't send them because I'm kind of always waiting for the whatever. So on the little piece, we're going to score this at 3.25 and 4.5. So essentially we are going to make the 3.25 to 4.5 is this piece, and then the 4.5 or the 4.5 to 5 is that little glue tab. I should really make prototype cards more often because it really makes it easy to explain like what piece on a fun fold goes where. I actually bought a whole class on how to make fun folds that is set up in that way as well, where you would basically, find some cardstock that you hate the color of. Like for me, I bought lemon yellow Nina, which if you haven't seen it in real life is basically like highlighter yellow. So I have like a whole 200 sheets of that who knows when I will ever use it. So I think that will likely be what I do if I go that route. So the first score is pretty straightforward. We want to score at 5.5 to basically make our A2 card base. And then we're going to go to 6 3/4. And make sure you're using the knot cutting blade. And then you're going to go to 8 3/4. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to go to 10, which again gives us our little 1/2-inch tab. If you want a different size glue tab, you could certainly do that. But that's pretty much most of what we need, but we're going to need I probably need a white panel. But let me just reinforce these score lines. These are all mountain folds, so it should be pretty straightforward. Because we're essentially just making this lower box. Although someone mentioned this is not my idea, but if you don't want to futz around with doing the whole box thing, you can do this entire card flat. So like just a 4 1/4 by 5.5, standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 mat. Then this is a little shorter. This middle piece here is 2 3/4 by 3, but you could just make this like a 3 by 4, and then you could actually use your cut aparts and then make a mat. And then this is just 2 by 4. Sorry, 2 by 4 1/4. And then this piece is 1 3/4 by 4. But I don't know. I kind of like the idea of trying into the flat card. Hey, Jim, how are you? I hope things are well. But we have this piece, and we have our tag. And I think I'll keep with wintry colors. I don't know. Now that it actually feels like winter outside, I'm a little less enamored with wintry colors. But maybe we could. I have this lovely cardinal paper, so maybe we could use this as sort of our primary. And I have a leftover piece, so I think this would look kind of nice together. A lot of this is going to get covered up. The other thing we could do is, I think I have some of the original paper left. Oh, here we go. We also have this dark blue. I want to see what that would look like. So we could do dark blue mittens again, which would be a nice look. Maybe I'll do that. I kind of like that now that I said that. Whatever this is, 4 1/4. Sorry, 4. You know what's bad? You know it's like Sunday when you're not even remembering your own measurements for things that like you actually wrote down. By 5 1/4. There we go. So I think we have everything sorted except for the stamping. And we probably need to grab some white to do a sentiment piece. Oh, I'm liking this color. This color scheme is kind of nice. So this will go like this. Go like that. Then this piece will basically hang out up here. And really it's going to be totally covered by this tag. So the tag I will probably bring most of the way to the bottom, but we'll see how this piece stacks out essentially. What we want to make sure is that the top of the tag, when this folds flat, is within the card base so that this is mailable. And then this will just mat in. So I think we can work on the stamping and coloring bit. And then the rest of this should come together pretty quickly. So let us figure this out. So we can grab our dude. Although you could certainly use the crafty lady for this as well. You have to kind of figure out if he'll. So like he's not gonna fit on the whole card really. But this gives us an idea of sort of this. So this sort of last line on the stamp will not be on. No, will not get stamped. But I did want to use the Craft Roulette jersey, which is what I did the first time, but no one could tell. So basically, all we need to do is sort of position this like that so that sort of we should have, and we can kind of come back in with our like acetate sheet if we want to kind of see how this fits. I think that'll be fine. And then I picked up the stamp, but don't do what I did. Do what I suggested. And that means we don't really have to worry. We're going to kind of cut off part of his hand, which I don't love, but it should be fine. And since his body is kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not fully in frame here, I'm not really going to worry about, normally I'd be a little more concerned about wanting to ground him, but I think because he'll be near the bottom of the tag and his body will be partially off the tag, off this piece anyway, I think it should work out pretty well. That looks pretty good. I know about you guys. Were you supposed to get weather, Debbie? In Wisconsin, we basically missed all of the not so lovely weather that is hitting other parts of the country, which I feel very lucky about because tomorrow is in fact Monday. So I think it will be something of a trying Monday if you're in any of the states that are stormy currently. And I'm just going to kind of, now if we directly layered it, it would be like this. So I'm just going to kind of situate his head like inside the part we've already stamped. Now you could, if you wanted to be careful, you would just, you could make a mask of the actual shirt and then just stamp him on top of it. I'm going to sort of wing it and hope we don't have an oopsie. Which may or may, which we will see if that's a good idea or not momentarily. But basically, I don't want to get any of the, I don't really want to get ink on his shirt. And if I do get ink on his shirt collar, I kind of want to, there we go. I basically want to get his neck ideally, but not any of the shirt collar. And I think that's pretty good. That looks pretty good to me. So we're going to stamp this. If his neck doesn't fully connect, we can always basically come in with a pen at the end and just connect it. We got a little oopsie here. I think that'll be fine though. But I also want to stamp the primary part of his head again, just to reinforce those lines, because lines like that one are not super great. There we go. Maybe his sweater is distressed, or we could also like do his sweater in we could do it in like a brown color, and then that might we might be able to make it look like that's a fold of the fabric. There we go. If you did want to do, there's a couple of different ways you could do this. If you wanted to do the masking, what a lot of people have really liked are the repositionable, like the removable Avery labels work pretty good because you can get them in sort of like a 2x4 size. Oh, you got a foot of snow, Jim? I didn't realize anyone had gotten snow yesterday. I thought it was all sort of upcoming. We got no snow. We just got, I mean, we're getting like, the air from Canada we always get this time of year. But, I mean, pretty much we are all right. I'm going to grab, well, let's do his face. I think I'm going to do his face in whatever this is. A lot is actually, we'll do him a little pinker. This is E00, which I've liked as a flesh tone a lot. There we go. Get the cat hair out of the way. I'm sure some people can relate. And I'm mostly gonna like flat color him. But if you are an exceptional colorer, feel free to do so. I was just watching Christina and Meadow from Crafty Stamp Co. do some really nice blending on some balloons. So I don't know. I'm sure this year I will try to get away from the flat coloring a little bit. So I'm just going to put in his sort of base skin tone. I'm going to come in with slightly lighter color. I'm just going to go in around the hairline here a little bit. Oh, and I did forget his hands, which I typically do. It was just to say I typically forget people's hands when working on it. I was thinking we could give him some nice icy blue hair. Although you could also give him like normal colored hair. But I thought it would be kind of neat to sort of bring in. Actually, this is bluer than I thought it was. Oh, well. We can come back with a little of an icier blue in a second. And do the hairline where naturally people have slightly more shadow. This is just be a lot of zeros, so we'll go in with that and just essentially just flood the whole area where his hair is, and that will help it sort of blend out. And I'm trying to sort of make sure I hit any area I already colored, just so that it kind of, so that the two colors of marker layer essentially. Because alcohol markers are very similar to watercolor in how they work, at least in my brain. So let's grab the same brown I used for the desk in the original. And I think that will give him a mostly brown shirt. This, I think, is technically a yellow. Yeah, it is oh yeah, they print them on the cab. This is a Y25, 28. But I really kind of like this color because to me it's sort of a softer brown. I mean, without it. And I don't mind this because the stamping oopsie we did actually looks like it's just like folds of his shirt, which is kind of a happy accident. I'm going to come back a little bit and try and hit sort of the shadow areas here. And I'm kind of leaving this a little bit modeled because it kind of makes me feel like it would be more like a fabric texture. But we could certainly continue. Oh, look, there's a cat. Not on my desk, but by my feet saying hello. The cat who is not usually in the streams, Kaiser, my black cat. So let's grab some more blues just to pull a little of the blue here. And we'll just put our... Now, if this was like a normal craft roulette wheel, obviously you would not have the same colors. But I think I'm going to just grab some blues that I didn't use in his hair and make it sort of more of a wintry color scheme kind of wheel. Which is what I did the first time, but then I covered it up. So we'll grab, ooh, this is a nice blue too. Oh, this actually might have been the blue to use because it's much more of a slate blue. And as the wheel segment in the middle dries out, it's actually lightening a little bit. So I think this, so it'll basically mat out like that. And I think we hit, this is technically not, I did not include branches or branching. So we could actually die cut some branches to go in the background. How are we on time? It is 43 minutes, so we have plenty of time. So I think I'm going to see if I can't dig up some of my shimmer white just to sort of bring a little more white into the background. So I'm thinking these little ones would look really cool. Essentially, like if we do it like that. We'll have to play it. We may want to assemble everything. We might want to figure out where this tag is going to cover just to make sure. We could actually do two, I guess. If we die cut this twice, we should have enough to just cover the background. So maybe I'll do that. And if I can find my scissors, we'll do that. Oh, that makes sense, Jim. I always forget that you're so close to the Great Lakes. I don't know. Once I had a work trip that was trying to recall. It was going to Buffalo sort of this time of the year, and it was kind of I don't know. It was interesting. Like we didn't get snowed on, but we only barely, like the day we flew back to Madison, like we were very close to getting snowed into the Buffalo airport for like a while, which would have been kind of icky because this was going home on a Friday. Anyway, I'll be right back. Yeah. We'll see how. Ooh, this actually worked. Maybe. No, we still need to use our little pokey tool. And this does kind of go against my not liking fussy dies, but this one looks pretty cool once it's done. There we go. Whoops. Need an extra hand or something. But I think what we can do is just sort of layer these like this and then put the branches in the background. And I think that'll look pretty cool. Of course, with something like this, you could just glue down the stems, and then you kind of can get this neat look of like the leaves sort of being a little more 3D if that's your thing. And if we want these, obviously when we do this, this will be a duplicate, but you can, if you wanted to, you could flip this over too, which we might do. I don't think it's going to matter for this card because most of this is going to be hidden beneath like this box. There seems to be chaos on Planet Kitty at the moment. But I don't think my mic picks them up when they're just sort of yowling because it's not close enough to like an actual human voice. But if you hear them, they are in a very kiddie-ish mood of just running around and like chasing shadows and stuff. Or ghosts, I don't know. I guess in theory there might be ghosts who live here. There we go. Put that to the side. This is definitely sort of a wet glue kind of thing. But yeah, no, I think this is going to look cool. We'll just cross these, and I don't think... So we flipped them, we should have die cut it the other way. But if we... I don't know. I think it'll look fine, just the way it is here. But you can usually get a mirror image if you would prefer to have one. Hey, Blossom. How are you? Are you in the areas that are getting more wintry weather than usual? I didn't know how far south it was going. But the craft roulette peeps that were posting some very wintry scenes from Kansas City. And I'm just excited for them. It seems like their brand is expanding because they're doing their first live event this year. So that is exciting. It's always exciting to see friends succeeding. There we go. And the shimmer cardstock is not porous, basically, because of the shimmer coating. So I am just going to give it a little weight to, and be careful about pulling it up like I just did. But that should be pretty much down. Oh, we'll just do this one. And we will. No, I've already done like 5 cards with these same parameters. We'll at least continue making a card that at least could be submitted to craft roulette. Although I will not be doing so because we already did it a bunch of times. And Lennox has joined the desk to say hello. There we go. Hey, Pam. Oh, thank you for your holiday card, Pam. I just opened it. Well, not just, but when our stream started, I decided to kick off early because I got this one. So thank you. My cards are in the mail-ish. I think almost all of them are in the mail, but we'll see. Oh, and this is not glued down. That is, I don't know if it matters, but I'm going to try to glue this down a little bit better. Again, this is going to be mostly hidden. Actually, I don't think I put any glue down. There we go. Now we put down some glue. It is good to see you. The upper part of Oh, I think T's live tonight as well as part of the KCC stuff, which might be now. But if you are a fan of hers, definitely check her out because I think they're doing kind of an interesting. Ignore my mic if it's weird. The Linux is investigating. Anyway, they're doing the same format they did in the previous challenges, I think, where yeah, so this will kind of mount like this. That'll hide the fact that the branches at the bottom look a little bit wonky and all is right with the world. So I think we can basically put this together. Here's Linux for those of you who were missing his presence. Hi. Hello. Get this nicely here. Well, sorry guys. Let me move the cat. The cat is there we go. You can sit on my lap though. You don't want to sit on my lap. Well, let's readjust ourselves. Oh, and I think I figured out where the camera was freaking out. I think it was just a bad cable. So anyway, that was a yeah, I wished I had noticed that earlier kind of moment, but such is life, I guess. So I'm just going to fold this down at the second fold because that's how. Am I doing this correctly? Maybe. So if we folded this flat, essentially, yeah. So you want to, at least this is how it works for me best, is you want to basically add your adhesive and then sort of fold that the card down to the closed position. And now I'm going to do this one, even though no one's going to ever see it, but this should give us something to work with in terms of spacing the rest of the card out. But all I want to do is what we just did, essentially. So this time I am going to close the bottom and then line this seam up on the top and unglue the parts that just glued down to the card. But basically that's where our tag is going to go. I think we can just adhere this and then put the pattern paper over the top because that'll help secure it a little bit. And the fact that this is a relatively thin cardstock to play with. And how are we on time? We are mostly okay on time. And then I'll just do the same thing that we just did. And now we have our bits together, basically. Oh, yeah. Yep, that is Lennox. He is a frequent visitor to the channel. There are a lot of shorts of Lennox causing problems. But I don't know. He's a very good cat and a fun visitor. Anyway, so this looks a lot like the ones we've made before. Ow. Don't stab yourself with a pokey tool. I don't recommend it. The only major difference is that this is a lot thinner, which will be great because we can put our tag over it. And I think we will get done just in time. I was going to, if you're still here, Colleen, the interesting thing about the gifts is that I have both a friend from college and a aunt with the same initials. So I was kind of intrigued. I was like, I wonder which of those people are sending me something. Anyway, I am very happy to see you. So I'm going to. So the one thing that's happening now is if I'm seeing the sort of the tabs of this. So I'm just going to sort of chop, sort of rough cut some tag corners just so we don't have to look at that. If I had planned for it, there we go. So now this is a little, we may want to, this is a little close to the C. Oh no, that's perfectly fine. So we just need to make these seams flush on the bottom. So let's grab some glue and get that together. But anyway, it was sort of like one of those things that is sort of like, I should be sending someone a thank you note. But the thing that was interesting is it was like, really cool crafty stuff. And I was kind of like, some of these people, like, I don't know if they are familiar with craft products that much. So anyway, it was something of an intriguing moment. There we go. Boop. And now this is not quite even, but that's fine. I am going to go and put a line of glue just at the top, just so that stays together a little bit better. And we are exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds away from Channel stream starting. So here's our revamped guy. I didn't do it on this stream, but I'll just put a panel on the back that I can write a message on. In fact, I may write the message and then put the panel on. But this card wouldn't be too hard to write on because it does fold completely flat. Anyway, that's what I got for you today. Tutorial video on a more succinct version of how to make this thing will be coming some point soon. Hey, Phil, welcome. And as soon as I end the stream, you should just redirect over to Shannon Makes It's channel, and then you can join the last hour of the Kendra's Card Challenge Hop. And until I talk to you again, I hope you guys have a great one, and I hope your week is fantastic. And I lost my outro, but that's all right. Have a good one.